Hello, everyone. This is Chadi Alraies, and this is coming to you from SAMS Voices. This is a program coming to you as a podcast as well as on YouTube channel to highlight one of the big achievers in the SAMS organization and society, physicians and healthcare providers, and others who have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of humanitarian efforts, but also education as well as clinical achievements. I'm really privileged to be in our second episode now with Dr. Muhammad Sayed. He is passionate about helping Syrian physicians applying to residency in the United States. A lot of residents, I think, who are going to be watching us, they know him very well. He set up a lot of workshop for them when they come up to the United States. He became a member of the SAMS Educational Committee almost 10 years ago in 2015, and currently he serves as a chair of the Education Committee of SAMS. Over the last decade, hundreds of Syrian physicians benefit from the Education Committee activities that he led, along with a phenomenal committee, including the interview skills workshop, online webinars for ERA submissions, which is the application system for people coming to the United States, and applicant supporting programs and CV personal statement review program, and others. He's a graduate from University of Aleppo Faculty of Medicine and completed his internal medicine training at University of Miami. He completed his GI fellowship at Rush University and also master's degree in public health from University of Washington and master's degree in biomedical informatics from University of Chicago. He's currently working at the Centers of Digestive Health in Indiana. With no further ado, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sayed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shadi, and I'm really humbled and honored to be part of this podcast.
Yeah. So we always start this conversation for people who don't know you, but also the who know you, but you don't know how you started about your journey. So if you walk us through the moment you came to the United States or what drove you to come to the United States and what barriers did you overcome to reach where you are now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure it's the story of every Syrian physician who actually worked really hard to come to the United States, and I'm sure a lot of people they have their own battles and their own barriers. We started as a group of medical students in Aleppo, and we were gathering around the people who came to the U.S. For electives. We started to learn a bit and try to collect any information about how to go to the United States. And we started to have this passion towards coming to the United States, learning more about practicing in the US and how to get into residency. Some of the senior medical students in our university, they actually came back and then they started to give us lectures about how can you get into an elective, maybe in the US, or maybe how can you apply to the US residency, and how can you fill the application, how to get letters of recommendation. And then at that time, I learned a lot from those people, and I feel like they started this process, which was not an organized process, but then I learned a lot with a group of other physicians, and then eventually I was able to come to the United States. I started by doing an elective at the University of Texas in Galveston, and I spent like 3 months. I finished my CS exam, and then came back to Syria, came back to finish medical school, and then I started the journey applying for residency. And then the struggle is the struggle started from day one when. First, we didn't learn how to speak English the way that we should. We were not fluent. We had this difficulty. So we started to practice with each other. And then the other problem that we had is that the lack of US clinical experience. So we wanted to improve that. And then we worked really hard to get into rotations and then to get letters of recommendations. And then eventually started residency. And then I started to realize that now after I secured a position, an internal medicine residency. I think this is the time I would like to help other people, and I felt like I have some knowledge I can share with Syrian physicians and medical students. I can maybe help them. Maybe I can organize some workshops and. Of course, during that process, when I was applying for residency, I met Dr. Tariq Al-Youssef, Dr. Basil Atasi, and Dr. Shadi Lata. They organized the interview skills workshop that was back in 2009. And then I was like so happy that someone actually from the US, Syrian physicians, trying to help us. And then they introduced me to the education committee. And then after I finished residency, I was like, maybe I should talk to them. Maybe I should be in contact with them. And then eventually I talked to Dr. Shadi Lata, and he actually encouraged me to start one of the workshops for residency. And that's how it started. And then we started with one webinar, and then from there we started to expand our workshops, webinars, and then expanded our base to
Yeah.
help more Syrian physicians.
Yeah, this is a great example of hard work, dedication. But you touched on a very important aspect is the struggle. As you know, everybody calling his or her connection, trying to find a way to get through. So my next question, I think you already start touching on, is how did you get involved with SAMS? So I felt that you saw a need and a high demand for such an important pathway, and eventually you start creating it. So let's start with how you came up with the ideas of webinars and workshops and how we were able to pull that strong team that you have currently.
Yeah, I think that's that's a really good question. So um, when I came to the US, I actually benefited a lot from the education committee workshops and some of the projects that they had. They have a scholarship project. They have interview skills workshop. They have webinars, how to fill applications. And then when I benefited from all of that, I was like, maybe I can be part of this and I can help. And that's what we encourage everybody who comes and benefit from these projects. We always ask them if they can give back to the community of Syrian physicians, and we encourage them to do that. So I was like, maybe I can help out with some of the projects, and then we started with I started with how to fill the ERAS application project, and we did webinars every year, and then we started to invite more people, like more professionals, program directors, associate program directors, to give lectures, how to talk about professionalism, how to talk about how to fill personal statements, CV. And then I started working on the interview skills workshop. The interview skills workshop, it started in Chicago, and that was the only city that actually had the workshop. We didn't have it in any other place. So I came up with the idea, how come we have it only in one city? However, Syrian physicians, they come to the US and they settle in a lot of other cities like Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, New York. So can we make the same workshop but in different cities? So we actually were able to establish the same workshop, the same time, in 6 different cities in the US, including Los Angeles, Houston, Cleveland, Detroit, and we had Chicago, of course. So we had a lot of teams working on ground in the same time, trying to work on this weekend. And on that weekend, we had people who come to certain locations, could be libraries, could be private clinics, and we have volunteers. At some point, we had almost like 70 or 80 applicants come in person. They spend 2 days doing a workshop, and also we had also even more people volunteering for this. And then COVID hit. And then when this happened, everything changed. So interviews changed, and the interviews became online and virtual, and we have to do something different. And that's when we started doing everything virtual. So we changed our platform, and now we are not doing it in person. We are using a platform called Thalamus, which is the same that's used by all other um, residency programs. So we started the program to do it virtually, and now we have been working on this. I would say this is the 19th year of this workshop.
Oh,
It's been 19 years, and I'm so proud that I'm still part of it. The one who's leading it is Dr. Abdul Qadir Sha'ar now, and he took the lead of this project with other SAMS members. For example, this year, or for example, last year we conducted almost 300 mock interviews, helping almost 70, 80 applicants. This year we're expecting more than 100 applicants, and we're planning to conduct even more than 300, almost maybe 350 mock interviews. And that's going to be over 2 weekends. And that's only one of the projects. And we have a lot of other projects. But that was like the entrance where I started with the education committee.
yeah, that's wonderfully put. Now, we a part of this podcast is number one to highlight the big achievers like yourself and what they have done, but also to present to the audience what currently available for them. And if we want to go through a bullet fashion, what would you list the current project that currently SAM's Education Committee doing for the new applicants?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of the main things that we have been trying to advertise for, because we want to encourage all Syrian physicians coming to the US to learn about our project. So, starting from the first project, which is the YouTube channel, we have a YouTube channel with thousands and thousands of views. We have hundreds of videos, and it's a well-established library of all the information that Syrian physicians need how to get into residency in all aspects, starting from the beginning, from scratch, someone who doesn't know anything about residency, and then they can start to learn about how to fill applications, what's the meaning of electives, how can we get into research, and what are the research projects I can work on. Also, like how to practice for interviews. So we have a lot of videos. So I encourage everybody who's applying to go into the YouTube channel called SAMS Education Committee, and then subscribe and like all the videos, and then try to watch them, and then learn a lot. So that's the first project. The second project we have every year we have. The interview skills workshop. And this is the 19th year that we have been conducting this workshop. Now it's virtual online. And definitely, I encourage everybody to be part of this and participate. The interview skills workshop helps Syrian physicians to do mock interviews with professionals, at least 3 to 4 interviews. And then they will give them feedback after every interview. The other project is the applicant support program, trying to support Syrian physicians' applications, and trying to connect them with other physicians who are in residency programs, so they can help them and support their applications. And we have made actually a lot of connections in the last 5 years. And then the next project we did that few years in the past, and it's the residency readiness workshop, preparing them to get into residency after they match. And we worked on different aspects, the mental part, financial part, medical part, trying to improve their knowledge about certain topics as well. Um, in the last, also, we used to have the hosting program. That was in the past before COVID, when interviews were in person. We had actually a full database of people who are able to invite applicants who are coming to their cities for interviews, so they can stay at their home for free. So they don't need to pay for hotel reservation. And but that now it's not anymore, because we don't have in-person interviews. And then I would like to focus on the research projects, the evidence-based medicine project. We conducted 2 courses. One of them was short, the other one was comprehensive, and people they were able to get certificates from that project, and it's still available on the YouTube channel. The last project I would like to talk about is the observership program. Observership program started January of this year. We are receiving applications from Syrian physicians who are applying to the U.S. residency, and they have a valid visa, and or maybe they are currently in the U.S. And we help them to get a clinical rotation on observership in different hospitals in the U.S. And we have a really good program so far. We already finished 2 cycles, and we have a cycle every 6 months. So we did 2 cycles so far, and then by the end of the year, we're going to open a third one. And that's actually one of the main projects that we have at least 3, 4 people working on it. It's very important for people coming to the US to do these clinical rotations. So giving them this opportunity will help a lot. I hope I didn't forget other projects, but these are the main ones that we have. We had also the CV and personal statement review program. We had that for at least 5, 6 years in a row, and it has been successful. We have people who are professional in reviewing these applications, and we helped a lot of applicants also during the match cycle. I think that's these are the main projects that I would like to have everybody to be involved in, and I would like to encourage everyone who's listening to us. If they are an applicant, then please come talk to us, and then reach out to us, and then we can have you benefit from these projects. And if you are interested in helping in these projects, if you are a physician who has been practicing in the US, or a resident or a fellow already, and you would like to help us in the interview skills workshop or in the observership program, then please let us know, and then we can definitely get in touch with you, and then get you connected with someone who can you help.
Like I say, this is really phenomenal. I don't know how you fill your day with all these projects and keeping track, but as you said, it's a seasonal kind of peak for each project. And I think the hub for all this, the resources, is the YouTube channel. So what we're gonna make sure, but when we post this video, we're gonna put all the links for the YouTube channel, as well as if there is any specific educational committee webpage for applicants and also for volunteers to be part of, will include it on that video posting as well.
Absolutely, yes. I think it's actually the social media era now, and everybody is watching YouTube videos, and I think it's important to have people watch these videos, and then they can contact us, and then they can learn about what's going on in the US, especially if they are not familiar with the US residency, and even when they come here they can definitely benefit from that. So we'll definitely provide all these links, and also, of course, the education committee email. We can make it available for everyone.
Thank you so much, Said. And final comments also, or final question is, we say, what is, tell us about a fun fact about yourself.
That's an interesting question.
For all of us.
Fun fact.
Workaholic.
I know. I like a fun fact about me. So I play video games on my phone. So I always have a game I play on, and then I spend sometimes maybe like 4 or 5 years on the same game, and then maybe I get bored, and then I pick up a new game. So that's one of the things. I like strategic games. So that's one thing I like. And definitely, of course, play video games on PlayStation and other things. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Said, really, it's been a true pleasure. Number one, speaking to you, and I know you for many years, but I don't know that you have achieved that much. Just keeping track of and seeing what you have done so far. This is definitely what you are doing is going to go long term and value. And I wish everybody who benefited from these programs to give back by helping others and send the elevator down. to help the next generation. But these resources are there to stay. I think you set the path and you set the tone right now is for the program just to keep running almost automatically without any need for any more adjustments because you put the strategy, you put the team together, and the ball is rolling. Thank you so much for your hard work. And thank you for believing in SAMS. Thank you for SAMS for supporting your vision. I think this is one of the unique features of this society that it's always accepting new ideas and new suggestions and always opening for people like you, talented, to implement what you have learned and what you suggest in real life.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank SAMS, all the members at SAMS, definitely the leadership, but every single SAMS member who's helping in every different way, in the medical relief, in the SAMS Institute, in education committee, in all other chapters of SAMS. I would like to thank everyone, and definitely I would like to thank you and your team for this wonderful interview. And hopefully we can meet again, inshallah, soon in person, and then we can catch up on more stuff.
I'd like to say it again, thank you so much. And for all our listeners and viewers, also, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, the purpose of these SAM's Voices is to broadcast new opportunities as well as new venues for you to collaborate and work with what already put together by phenomenal members like Dr. Sayed. I would like to thank also Ala Sha'ar, Zaina, as well as Salam Abdul for their phenomenal work and for putting this together. They are the editor, they are the maker, and also for Nidar al-Wahar, who was like really, he was the inspiring person behind this voices. I'm just the person who's doing the job, but he is the one who inspired this idea. Thank you again for watching us. Watch this episode and others on the SAM's YouTube channel. We're going to come to you every first Saturday of the month with a new episode. If you have any suggestion, please post it in the comment. Thank you for joining us.